Greetings, this is Paul the Pope from paulthepope.com. Today's topic, trend update, wars and rumors of wars, September 5th, 2017. Scripture references out of Mark 13, verses 7 and 8. And when you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. This must take place, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places. There will be famines. These are but the beginning of the birth pains. And that's Jesus is the one who's talking in these two verses. And these are just the headlines from today, September 5th, 2017. Just cruising the headlines. And this is what's going on around planet Earth in regards to wars and rumors and wars. And we will start in Israel, article out of Newsweek. Israel preparing another war with Hezbollah. IDF practices attack on Lebanon. JerusalemPost.com. Hezbollah reacts to IDF drill. We are ready for any act of Israeli stupidity. So essentially, Israel is rehearsing an attack on the terrorist group Hezbollah out of Lebanon. And the military exercise is taking place in northern Israel. So here we are up north of Haifa on the border with Israel and Lebanon, Tyre up here to the north in Lebanon, and this activity is taking place up here. It's a war simulation, and they are ready to invade Lebanon, if necessary, to go after Hezbollah. And Hezbollah says, we are ready for an act of Israeli stupidity. And the second place on the map we're going to go to is nuclear North Korea. Got four articles. NASDAQ.com. North Korea warns of, quote, more gift packages for the United States. This is out of FoxNews.com. Putin warns global catastrophe over North Korea nuclear crisis. This one's also out of FoxNews.com. North Korea mountain used as nuclear test site at risk of collapsing, says Chinese scientist. And here's where the explosion took place in North Korea. Right here, the Big Diamond is a 6.3 earthquake that was caused. And then the subsequent, what happened, this smaller one, about 4.2, was the result of the mountain that they blew up collapsed and resulted in a 4.2 earthquake. And now they're concerned that this whole mountain in this area right here, you can see the rivers around it, or the streams around the mountain just collapsing and going goodbye. And then also as a result, we'll back out. Japan is looking to evacuate their citizens from South Korea. And I guess they've got upwards of about 60,000 people, whether they are working there or traveling to South Korea. North Korea threat prompts Japan evacuation preparations, and that's out of asia.nikkei.com. Third area of interest, Russia and the Ukraine. And this is eastern Ukraine right here. Here's the Ukraine-Russian border. Here's the Crimean Peninsula, which Russia already has control over. But Russia wants a UN Security Council resolution for peacekeepers to the Ukraine. So they come in peace. That's out of RT.com. Russia resolution, peacekeepers to the Ukraine. Let's take a look at ISIS. Now, they're taking a pretty good hit these days. Big news today with ISIS. They are out on the Euphrates River here at Deir ez-Zor. And essentially the Syrian army has lifted the siege of Deir ez-Zor, and they're out. And that's the landmark here is the Euphrates River. And currently, anything west of the Euphrates River, Russia is saying, hey, this is the red line, don't you cross. And the United States is saying the same thing to the east of the Euphrates River. You keep your stuff on your side of the Euphrates, and we won't blow up your jets. And that's pretty much how that's going down at this moment. To the north and to the west in Raqqa, this is one of ISIS's last strongholds right now in Syria. And as you can tell, U.S.-backed Kurds have pretty much closed the donut hole significantly on Raqqa. Syrian Democrat forces clear Great Mosque of Raqqa, and that's out of defense.gov. That's out of the United States Department of Defense.gov. Bottom line, ISIS is getting seriously squeezed in the Middle East, and this happened just a couple of days ago. This was west of Mosul in Tal Afar, and they were cleared. ISIS was cleared out of there as well. So this whole region, which was once completely controlled by ISIS, is now controlled by Iraqis, primarily Shia forces. Yellow would be the Kurds, primarily Sunni forces. And the last place we're going to go to is down on the Arabian Peninsula, down to Yemen, in the southern part of the Arabian Peninsula. Again, we have Sunni v. Shia conflict. In the red, this would be the Houthis or Houthis. These folks are supported by the Iranians. In the blue, you have the Saudi coalition, Sunni. In the middle, you have a Sunni coalition of Al-Qaeda. And then you have more Saudis over here to the far east of Yemen. Saudi Arabia-Yemen war, rebel alliance imploding. So that's hard to say. I mean, that would, I guess, would mean the Houthi rebels or the Al-Qaeda rebels. But Saudi Arabia seems to think they are having the upper hand on the issue. And the thing that continues to just spiral out of control, and this is growing rapidly, and the numbers on this are increasing. You can see this over here to the far right. Yemen's cholera caseload passes 600,000. And even by the United Nations' wildest estimates, they weren't thinking this was going to get to about 300,000 or 400,000. And that was just a few months ago. And so that has increased to over 600,000. 3,000 people a day are reporting with cholera. And there's a link for that, scientificamerican.com. Yemen's cholera epidemic hit 600,000, confounding expectations. And so that's what's taking place today, September 5th, 2017. And that doesn't even cover the back end of the verse that was quoted, or verses out of Mark 13. There will be earthquakes in various places. I mean, that doesn't count all the rumblings taking place in and around Yellowstone. That continues to go. I think there were 3 earthquakes today, 4.3, 4.5 or greater. And that little cluster of swarm of quakes continues. Obviously, we got famine going on in multiple places throughout the world. And regional flooding throughout the planet due to significant rains. And we've had Hurricane Harvey. We have Hurricane Irma coming. And to quote Jesus to wrap this thing up, these are but the beginning of the birth pains. So that's just one day here on planet Earth. If you're interested in the topic, please feel free to check out paulthepoke.com. Keyword wars, Mark 13. Israel, North Korea, Russia, Ukraine, ISIS, Yemen. You guys take care. Have a good day. Bye.